Hello, good day everyone, and welcome to another one of our vlog journal sessions. So I'm just gonna begin my report regarding what happened on this ship about the recent loading operations on the Angra port in Brazil. So as expected, mooring is the mooring operation that we just proceeded in Brazil is quite difficult due to certain factors like problems with mooring equipment, and specifically on the forward spring line, which well, I guess we had a little bit of a problem there because on the fact that well, what happened there was that it was something about poor maintenance. We were having a hard time regarding operating it because of the brakes were either jammed or well, what do you call this? It's jammed most of the time, and it has a jerky or hammering quite of what do you call this? Hammering of you know, kind of like the machinery that keeps hammering and thudding every now and then. Think of it as more like a diesel that hasn't started up yet for quite a while. So yeah, that's the number one thing that I like to comment or report about that on what happened on the mooring. Another problem is that now I have no idea as well on before the mooring start where my mooring station I was assigned with. And I just guessed on the last minute which station I would go by on a whim, and went to the forward station. Typically, when mooring operations, they should have assigned in advance. I mean, I've already been here for almost 2 months, and yet mooring stations was not, or assigned mooring station was not even mentioned, not even once. Supposedly our chief officer, our Filipino chief officer, should be the one who would inform the crew on which mooring station should be a person be at. But I guess that's what happened here. Up to the mooring operation, I was definitely dumbfounded and have no idea on which station would I belong. It's either forward or aft, and I just guessed it. I don't know, maybe I guess he was too busy guarding people or trying to monitor and micromanage people that he forgot the most basic stuff like telling people on which station they should be working at during mooring operations. But anyway, yeah, that's what happened. I am now on unofficially for now, I am now on the forward mooring station on this ship, and in other words, basically I'm at the front, always at the front right now. But of course, this is only temporary until I have cleared up my mooring, you know, our mooring station thing. So, yeah, if of course, in general, of course, I would just like to add the mooring situation and loading operation right now here on Angra, Brazil is the it's called double banking. In other words, both of the what do you call this? Both of the sides of the ship are being used for this operation. On the starboard side, there's a ship that will go by alongside on this ship and, you know, discharge its cargo, while the ship on its left side, which is the port side, is currently well, let's just say tied up or moored on the shore side. In other words, we're just only using the shore side to fix the position of the ship, while the loading operations is not exactly on the shore side but on the what do you call this, on the starboard side. I even have a footage of that, so just give me a second here. I am kind of like sorting out my yeah, I'm just gonna sort out, just give me a moment here. Yeah, I'm just gonna sort it out for a moment. Now I do have here a video. Okay, let me take a look. Port side of this ship, it is currently moored on the left side or on the port side, so it's pretty obvious. Now I will go now on the right side of the ship. As you can see on this footage, this is the ship that is currently moored and loading, the one loading cargo or pumping cargo on you know, on our ship right now. So yeah, okay, my bad. I'm just gonna go get us, yeah. So you can see here The ship here, this is the one that's on the starboard side. This position of loading operation that you're looking at right now, it's called double banking. The left side of the ship, or either right or left, is moored on the shore side, while the other side of the ship that is not moored to the shore is the one that another ship that will be coming right at and discharge its cargo. In other words, double banking is some sort of a cross between a normal loading operation on shore and a loading operation on a ship-to-ship type. So you can see here as well, the manifold loading arms are not used at all. I have no idea why it's not being used at all, but the thing here is that's how double banking loading operation works. In any way, the loading arms here are not being used. Also, that's the gangway that's the situation on the double banking. I've already repeated, it's already like I said, I'm just gonna repeat. The left side is being used as the ship is tied up on the left side, while on the starboard side another ship is loading it. So basically that's what happened. It's a form of like I said, an STS operations. So yeah, what else should I report it at the moment? Okay, I'm just gonna run through my notes here. Oh yeah, one more thing I would just like to also tell. Right now we also receive a new crew. We got 4 new crews that came in on this ship right at now on this loading port. The first one is it's gonna replace 3 crews here. It's going to replace our AB, our old one. So a new AB just came in, a new messman, which is an additional crew. He has nothing to replace with. He's just basically additional to support the current messman that's working here on this ship, which is and another is more like a swap of an old crew from another ship, which is a new 3rd officer. Now here's the thing. It so happens that the new 3rd officer was actually one of my old co-workers that I worked with on 2 previous ships way back since 2019. So let's just say I'm a familiar face to him, or he is a familiar face to me. either on that kind of in either way you put it, on that kind of scenario. So yeah, there's 4 new crew coming in, and another thing is that we're not gonna stay long here at the port temporarily. We are just going to pull out and go onto the anchorage again. Unfortunately, the loading operation cannot it will have to be interrupted because of some sort of scheduling things on port. So what will happen here is that there will be a part 1 and part 2 loading operations on Angra, Brazil. The first one is that's the one that you saw in the video. That's currently ongoing right now while I'm I'm making this video. And after a few hours from now, we will go back for another unmooring operations just to make this ship let's just say unmooring operations for that this ship could anchor on the anchoring spot. Unfortunately, yeah, that's the schedule right now. But for now, the first the first parcel that is being loaded is already finished. So we're just waiting here right now on the pilot, from the orders from the pilot that will come in a few hours from now, so that the unmooring operation will start. Also, we had to stay here for about a day, probably because of some some issues with the loading ship that apparently they have some sort of issues there. I'm not gonna go through the details. So they could not cast off earlier than expected, so they got delayed, or the loading operation here got delayed by a day, which of course I took the opportunity in capturing some hidden videos during this during the more like while the ship is staying currently on this port. I'll probably have to process that videos later that I took. So yeah, as you can see, oh sorry, that's I've took a lot of videos here. It's mostly about the just I haven't made a full tour yet on the VLCC ship. I only made a full tour on the deck working area, but not also inside the accommodations. But I have to produce a video later about that. But yeah, what can I say? I still have to produce a video on that regardless. Okay. Oh dear. Okay, I guess I'll have to search through the files on my files yet onward to show that. Also, since the ship got delayed on the loading operations for a day, most of the crew went on a shore leave. Well, yeah, most of the crew actually. But for me, I didn't went unfortunately to the shore leave because I kind of lack the cash, and I kind of like want to save up money right now because back home things are not looking good for me financially. So I have to, well, let's just say that shore leave wasn't the thing on my mind here now that I'm on Brazil. But most of the crew did go for a shore leave. And as expected, we all know what there's a common story here that every sailor who goes in Brazil goes actually on the nearest brothel. Yeah, I know. That's kind of like a local joke in the Philippines that what they call the local port report or something like that. But in our case, it seems that some of the crew here are planning to go to the nearest brothel. Well, of course, I'm not the one, obviously, but some of the crew are. I'm not gonna mention names or any details, but yes, actually, that's one kind of dilemma here on when the ship really, when the ship goes to port, specifically on Brazil. There's well, how should I say this? Well, in the Philippines, mostly brothels are illegal, and there's a specific law that prohibits brothels from being established in the Philippines. However, do take note, in South America, it's kind of like the other way around. What we find illegal in the Philippines, it's kind of legal here in South America. Okay, I'm just gonna be blunt. Let's just say here, in the Philippines, prostitution is illegal. But in South America, apparently it is protected by law. So in other words, it's kind of legal. So establishments of brothels are kind of like a normal thing to them. And yes, they do cater to sailors. And well, let's just say that one of my co-workers here, or one of my crew members, visited the brothel, and he's kind of bragging in right now on the story on his kind of like encounter with the local well, I don't want to say it directly. It's kind of difficult for me to say this directly because I don't want to get banned on YouTube, but let's just say he's kind of had some encounters there, or intimate with the local local harlots there. So yeah, one of my crew members, specifically the engine cadet, but of course I'm not gonna begin the the identity of that person. So we don't want to cause a drama and scenario. But yeah, I would just like to confirm that yes, prostitution in Brazil is legal. So yeah, that's kind of old stories that you heard, or kind of jokes about Filipino seafarers going to Brazil and going to the nearest brothel. Yes, that is actually true, or actually that is 100% true. But not all seafarers, like on my case, because on my case, I am kind of saving up money. yeah. Because like I said, I'm kind of having a financial situation right now, and I don't want to lose money right now on some brothels. And well, I spend my money more wisely. Let's just say I spend more money more wisely on my welfare and my financial health. And besides, I've got a lot of projects on my hand right here, aside from vlogging and stuff like that. So anyway, yeah, so shore leave, I'm gonna some of the crew went on a shore leave there. And yeah, one more thing here that I would just like to add is that unfortunately the watch on work here right now, despite no cargo operations is ongoing, is still on triple watch, meaning there's 3 people on the deck working, well, not exactly working, guarding the gangway right now, which unfortunately I find it quite unnecessary because the cargo operations have already been finished. There's no point in staying more than at least 2 people on the deck. But I don't know, that's the policy of our wonderful Filipino chief officer there, and I find it, to be honest, quite unwise that a triple watch is still ongoing despite it's very obvious that it's already unnecessary. It should only be single watch. But anyway, like I said, I'm a grunt. I am not the one giving decisions here, but I find it, to be honest, as a grunt, on my point of view, unwise and unnecessary. But like I said, if your chief officer is a Filipino on board, you should set your expectations low, because most of the time Filipino chief officers are not easy to get along with. So anyway, it's his last. Speaking of which, it's his last. Last loading operation right now. So he's gonna go home soon. Thank God. Nice. Yeah, I'm glad that he's going home soon. So he's not gonna be my problem anymore. But the problem is, here's the thing. Here's the catch. The replacing chief officer for him is rumored to be, well, let's just say, an asshole. Yeah, unfortunately that was the case. So what will happen is that one autocrat will just be replaced by another one. But anyway, I guess I still need to verify that. For now, I'm just gonna consider that only as a rumor. So yeah. Oh yeah, one more thing before I end my vlog journal session. There's one more thing that I find it one thing annoying on this policy right now. Currently, there's an ongoing water discipline on this ship made by this I don't know, it's the decision of the ship captain, or more like the engine officers of this ship. It was, on my point of view, again, it is totally unnecessary, and it's weird to begin with, on the reason that this ship is a VLCC, and on the practical side, it can take hold a lot of wastewater from the crew. I don't see any point why there will be an ongoing water discipline right now, because come on, man, this is a very, very large ship. I'm sure a day or 2 wouldn't hurt, or wouldn't, the tank, the gray water septic tank wouldn't get filled by just wastewater coming from the crew. And I don't see the point why they had to impose water discipline on that. Honestly, it only shows how crappy some of the ship officers are right now on my ship right now. And comparing to the ones I had worked with before on this same company. So yeah, I just find it unnecessary that there's a water discipline right now, and this water discipline involves something that we cannot wash, or we cannot use the laundry room for the moment. Well, at least until the ship leaves the Angra port in Brazil. Which, like I said, I just find it quite weird, because I've already been with this type of ship for the 3rd time now, and when on its previous other sister ships, they don't close the laundry room during at port. In other words, any crew member can wash its clothes as long as he wish. And I find it kind of stupid and dumb frack that they had to close the laundry room, because they're just, they had to make up an excuses because that some sort of tank down in the engine would get filled up easily. Honestly, I think that was I don't know, it's either the ship officers are too stupid to know that, or they're just too lazy to do their work. Anyway, I'm not gonna go through any further. I guess that's all I have to say for now on my report, and I still probably have to continue. The loading operations here on this ship is still not finished yet, so probably I'll have to report back on part 2 of this report. So anyway, that's all I could report for now. So for those of you who enjoyed my vlog, I would just like to ask a favor to, if it's okay with you, kindly click on that like and subscribe button. It will really help me a lot when it comes to making these videos. It may be a small thing for you, but it's really a big thing for me on the YouTube algorithm. So again, this is Operator 214. Have a great day, everyone, and see you again on my next vlog journal sessions. So bye bye for now. Bye bye.